back, December Daily, and this is day 17. I'm probably going to be doing a two-part video this time because I do have this two-page spread and then I have one other one-page spread for the same day. This is pictures from our yearly trip to see Santa, and it's really cool. We have breakfast with Santa, and he comes around and he talks to the kids and he sits and listens to them and he visits with them at breakfast. And then later on we get the more formal picture taken at the same place. Plus there's face painting and cookie decorating and all kinds of stuff. So it's really, really, really fun and awesome. And I really, really enjoy it. And I think this is probably maybe our 4th or 5th year going. I'd have to look back at my pictures, but I think it's either 4 or 5. So this year was particularly special because Santa actually came and sat down next to us and he drew a picture for my daughter, and he was drawing a picture of Frosty. So that's what this picture is here. And he was just really, really friendly, and he sat down and talked to us for a long time. And then Mrs. Claus also came by to talk with us. So it was a great, great experience, and I absolutely loved it. So it was too much fun. So I have definitely more pictures than this, but this is my favorite ones. And like I said, I have 2 others from the day that will be later on. And so this is kind of the layout I'm going for, since it is pretty picture heavy. I don't have a whole lot of cards that I'm going to be using on this layout, but I am going to make sure I do journaling on this card. It's not going to be a ton because I don't have a whole lot to say. I think the pictures kind of speak for themselves, but I do want to add a little bit, kind of what I just talked about. So this is the card from the other day where I had it on the piece of acetate, and I have the sequins in here. So this is the back of that. So I'm going to be gluing it down here. But before I do that, I decided that I wanted to use some sequins on the back of this one as well. And because the colors on the one side were from the Snow and Cocoa paper line, and they're more pinks in the golds and such, and then this side is more the reds, I thought that the pinks and the purpley pink colors were going to clash too much with this. So I did a trick, I'm going to do a trick that I did very similar to what I had done in the past, where I had put some vellum behind the pocket so that when you saw the sequins from the other side, it wasn't as bold. So even though they are still pink, it's not as obvious that it's pink. So what I'm going to end up doing is gluing this vellum down. So I'm going to do that right now while I'm talking. And like I said, this layout is pretty picture heavy. So I didn't want to cover all the pockets with paper. So I decided that I would, I decided that I would use a flip pocket. So here is a flip pocket that I'm going to end up putting over here, and then I'm going to put a card underneath here as well, maybe to do some additional journaling. So like I said, I'm going to put this photo down. I'm just going to glue it down with my ATG, and then make sure I line that all up. So like I said, the sequins I'm going to be using are the different colors, and they're from the Ellie Edwards 2015 kit. And it's just the red and the golds that I'm going to be using. There are some other silvers. Oh, and actually the gold is from the Neat and Tangled sequin pack that I have. It looks like this. It's just little gold sequins that came in this pack, and this is the Pixie Dust sequin mix. So that's going to be in there. And then, oops, I'm losing them. They're staticky again. And so on this photo, I'm going to be using one of the rubber charms, and it says, "Remember this." I love these charms. I wish I had like 20,000 of them. I would use them on everything. So I am trying to be good and not use them on everything. But again, I'm going to be using red liner tape as recommended by Ellie Edwards. There are some people that had some problems with the adhesive reacting with the rubber charms. So she's recommending using the red line tape. So I'm just going to go with that. And I've mentioned that in other videos, but I'm not sure if everybody's seen all the other videos. So I mention it again just to make sure everybody knows. And so I'm just going to trim that so that it fits on the banner. And then I'm just going to put it up here, in the upper right-hand corner of this page. Hopefully. Or I'm sorry, not the upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to set it right there, I think. And I think that's all that this one's going to end up getting. I may add something else, but I think I'm going to keep this one pretty simple. Like I said, I have a lot going on with the tree and the ornaments in the background. I don't feel like I need to do a ton to this page. I think if I do too much, it will end up looking just overwhelming. So I think for this page, because there's a lot going on in the background of the pictures, I probably should keep it pretty simple. I think that looks straight, so I'm going to press that down. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some journaling on here, but I do want to spruce it up a bit because it's a little bit plain looking. So I am going to use these little vellum, I keep want to call these snowflakes, I'm not sure why, Christmas trees that I embossed on vellum, and I cut them out with a die cut that came with the stamp set. And I'm going to add them as accents over here. So what I was thinking is putting this one with the chevrons over here all the way to the bottom, maybe just slightly off the edge. And then I'm going to take these two and put them, kind of try to tuck them together just slightly, maybe a little bit like that, and then put them up towards the top a bit more. And then that way I have enough room for journaling. So I think I'm gonna do something like that. I'm trying to decide if I want to staple it or if I just want to use some adhesive. I think I'm going to color a few staples because I don't have any more gold staples. Color a few staples and then staple them down with the staples as opposed to using adhesive. I don't want them to lay so flat. I kind of want them to have a little bit of texture and dimension. So I'll be right back. I couldn't remember. I'm pretty sure I showed this at one time before, but I actually use these Bic markers to color the staples when I want them to be a certain color. So I just have these Tim Holtz Tiny Tatcher small staples that are in the regular silver color. But when you color them with these alcohol markers, so it could be Bic, it could be Copic, it could be Spectrum Noir, whatever you have. When you color them with these markers, then you can basically make them look whatever way you want without having to buy all different colors of markers. So I highly recommend this, and the Bic markers especially are really inexpensive. So you can just grab a couple that you know that you want to use a lot. Maybe gold is the only one you want to use. You can just grab a gold Bic marker and then use that for coloring in your staples. So I think it works really well, and it's not an exact gold match, but you know, it's a little tiny staple, so it's not that big of a deal. And I think it works for what I need it for. So that is what that looks like. So I'm going to staple these down and I'll be right back. All right, I have them all stapled down now. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I just added a couple staples here, here, and here, right there. And so that is all done. And I think I'm going to be using these thickers. I had mentioned in a previous video that my album is getting pretty thick, so I wanted to use something a little bit thinner. And these chipboard thickers are a bit thinner than the badges I was using. So I'd already pulled out 17. I was trying to figure out where I want to put this on this layout. A lot of the places I was trying, they kind of just covered up too much detail, and I wasn't quite sure if I liked it. So I'm just trying to figure out where are the best places. So I'm kind of just shopping it around on the layout to see. And I was thinking about here, but I didn't know, because there is that kind of empty space here, but I didn't know if that was going to be too much in that corner with the sequins and everything else. Oh, I don't know. Or maybe I could put it on here. That might look kind of neat. Oh, actually, I think I do like it kind of there. So I think that's probably where I'm going to end up sticking it. I'm going to go ahead and stick it down right now. I'm going to end up adding some liquid glue on here because it definitely will not be sticky enough to stay. But I'm going to set it here for now, just to make sure this is kind of where I want to end up keeping it. And I need to trim off the excess of the stamped images here. I have a little bit of it hanging over. Not too much, just a touch. All right, so I like how that looks. So that is pretty much, I think, what this part of the layout is going to look like. I do need to find a card that's going to go in this flip pocket. So I'll be right back after I find one. All right, I'm back. I think I'm going to end up using this card. I think I'm going to like how that looks. It kind of ties in well. I didn't want to add a whole lot more color to this because it is a lot of stuff going on, like I had mentioned a little bit ago. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. And then that will allow me to do a little bit more journaling on there too. So that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go ahead and do some journaling, and I'll be back in a second. All right, I got the journaling on here. It's a little crooked just because the card was kind of moving around in my typewriter, but I also added this Santa. It's something that I embossed with a stamp on vellum, and then I just add 2 more staples, and then I just trimmed off the bottom edge here. So I'm going to put this in this pocket here. And then, all right, guys, I have the journaling all on the cards now. And I ended up doing the journaling this way on some vellum just because I had already glued down or stapled down the trees and I just wasn't sure how the best way to do it. So I just ended up doing it in vellum and it worked out perfectly. So this is done on the typewriter, and I think that's just what I'm going to keep it as. I was trying to put some other embellishments on while I was off camera just to see, but it just seems like this is a good balance. I'm not going to really do much more, and I'm going to call it done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back with the second half of day 17 later, and if you have any questions about anything I've used, make sure you leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.